Welcome to the end of the game.
Westworld's third season takes its deadliest killer robot outside the park, but now we know more than ever about how Dolores intends to execute her master plan. The big reveal? The host control units Dolores smuggled out of the park are not the minds of other hosts. They're more copies of herself that she can upload to host bodies. Any host body. So now there's not one, not two, but 4 different copies of Dolores running around in the real world.
As far as I know, they are copies of the Dolores that we know, but they will all be on similar yet different paths. I mean, they are able to think for themselves, and you know, Dolores is a problem solver and is a survivor, and so you would have to factor in that core programming that she has into all the Dolores, and then assume that they would all have their own wants and desires. I see it as a vampiric relationship almost. It's like maker and the created, you know? And so there's this special bond that I think presumably the original Dolores has with all of her copies. They're sort of like extensions of herself, like children, partners, like there's a strange intimacy and sensuality with all of them, I think.
Something that I really love about something that's presented on the show this season is this idea of not being comfortable in your own skin. You know, Charlotte this season wants to crawl out of her skin. She has to go into the world and contend with old Charlotte's life. And also I think she finds herself, you know, sort of on the front lines in a way that's uncomfortable because she's actually in danger.
If Dolores duplicates herself, does the Dolores who's pretending to be Hale start getting this sort of internal version of Stockholm Syndrome, right? Does she start taking on some of the characteristics of the person she's pretending to be? Even beyond whether or not you think that Hale's personality is beginning to kind of soak into Dolores's, different things are happening to these 2 different characters. And as the season progresses...
And the truth is all of these copies go into humanity with a certain feeling about it, and then they come into contact with different humans, and that changes their point of view about humanity.
When you have to pretend to be something so intimately and for so long, eventually it's going to get confusing.
It depends on how you view Dolores, and it's kind of a fun thing that we're always exploring every season, but especially this season is the nature of good and evil.
So here's a quick recap of the control units and the copies we know about. Dolores smuggled 5 units out of the park. The first one was Bernard. Reactivating him was Dolores' first act when she escaped. Number 2 is Charlotte, who's been... yeah, she's figuring it out. Number 3 is Martin the bodyguard, whom Dolores replaced in the Season 3 premiere. Number 4 is Musashi from Shogun World, also revealed to be a Dolores copy in Episode 4. So who gets control unit number 5? Well, here are 2 candidates. Caleb and Dolores share a connection, but we've seen how Dolores treated her last trusty sidekick. So it's always possible that Dolores could kill Caleb, print his body, and plug in another copy of herself. But what would she gain? Caleb doesn't wield any real power or influence in the real world. The other side of that coin? Serac. He's the option that makes the most sense. He's the most powerful man in the world who owns most of the world's data. Replacing Serac with a copy of herself would make Dolores the most powerful being on the planet. And knowing what we know about Dolores? Yeah, that tracks. But what do you think of Dolores' master plan? Who do you think she'll copy that last unit into? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching, and for more Westworld, check out our review of Episode 3. And remember to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.